Hello, YouTubers. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Welcome, and warm greetings from the High 10. It is Saturday, December 7th, 2019. I would like to bring you all some information pertaining to the city of Birmingham, Alabama. I've talked about a said case on here, and this city is ridden with crime and mischief and mayhem. And I thought, what better way for people who watch my channel, people who hear said stories pertaining to this city, get an understanding of the crime and the data uh, of those crimes. And I'm going to bring those stats to you because I think some people who watch and listen live there, live in the state, live in the city, and they might want to know what's going on and get a general idea. But before I go into those details, I want to give you some information about the city of Birmingham. At the current moment, as of yesterday, 29 officers received their badges in the city of Birmingham. It is the third group that was sworn in this year. There will be four more classes for training in the year 2020. Um, These officers will spend, the current ones who have just been sworn in, the 29 badges, those with badges, will spend 16 weeks with a field officer in training before they are able to go out on their own. Chief Patrick Smith wants at least 1,000 officers by the year 2021 on the streets for the World Games. When he took office in June of 2018, the department was short more than 100 officers. The department has budgeted 905 officers to be sworn in eventually, and then they have currently 860 officers. So the department is budgeting 905 to become officers, and 860 are currently staffed officers in the city of Birmingham. The chief is also hoping to get funding for at least 1,000 by next year. With that said, they're going to need it, of course, because just looking at the stats for the city of last year, this year, there's a lot of crime in this city. There are a lot of things that have been transpiring in the city here recently, things that I have reported on this channel, things that you all have probably heard, those of you who indulge in YouTube, said crimes and accusations and threats made in that city against said persons. And so I'm going to give you a general idea of what is going on in that city. And this information I'm bringing to you is by Birmingham Wiki. And this is the list of Birmingham homicides in 2019, and it reads as follows. This is a list of Birmingham homicides in 2019. It includes homicide cases occurring within the city limits during the calendar year. Note that a homicide refers to the cause of death as determined by a medical examiner, not to the commission of the crime of murder as charged by police and prosecutors. 100 homicides have been reported in the city as of December 2nd, putting the city on pace for 109 for the year. Based on the 2018 census estimate of 209, 880,000 people population, that represents a homicide rate of 51.9 homicides per 100,000 residents. Birmingham had 109 homicides in 2018. The recent record low of 62 homicides was set in 2014, and the recent record high was 141 in 1992. At this point last year, 102 homicides had been reported. The city has averaged 9.0 homicides per month, or on every 3.4 days. There were 9 incidents in January, 11 in February, 10 in March, 8 in April, 14 in May, 10 in June, 9 in July, 12 in August, 4 in September, 6 in October, 5 in November, and 1 so far in December. The longest stretch without a homicide was the 17-day span between November 7th and 24th. 14 deaths were reported on Sundays, 15 on Mondays, 13 on Tuesdays, 13 on Wednesdays, 13 on Thursdays, 18 on Fridays, and 14 on Saturdays. 11 of the reported homicides were ruled justifiable as self-defense by investigators or prosecutors, and 3 resulted from reckless driving. The suspect in another murder was shot to death on the scene, and another killed himself. 1 death resulted from a violent act committed previous year. 1 other homicide took place at the Jefferson County Jail outside the city's jurisdiction. The police department therefore acknowledges 82 chargeable homicides. Suspects have been identified in 50 of those cases, arrested in 47, and charged in 42. Charges in 1 case were dismissed. At least 82 deaths resulted from shootings, 2 from stabbing, 5 from automobile collisions, 3 from bodily assault, and 1 in which a man was beaten unconscious and then run over. The cause of 8 others were not publicized. 48 incidents occurred on the streets. 10 at apartment complexes, 1 in a jail cell, 10 at businesses, and 31 at private homes. 45 were reported in the West Precinct, 32 in the East Precinct, 7 in the South Precinct, and 15 in the North Precinct. 1 death occurred during a police pat-down and 1 during a shootout with police. 5 occurred during attempted robberies, 15 during domestic arguments, 1 during an attempted break-in, 10 as a result of targeted assaults. 13 occurred during sudden disputes, and 3 are believed to have been the result of random violence. 1 victim was struck by a stray bullet and 2 others killed by reckless drivers. The motive is unknown in the other 48 deaths in the city. 89 victims were male and 10 were female. 1 has not been publicly identified. And underneath that information are the name of the victims and the circumstance in which they became deceased. So as you see, I've given you information about 29 officers sworn in the city of Birmingham yesterday on Friday. They would do a 16-week training with a trained officer before they are allowed on the street. And I now have brought you the statistics of deaths, homicide in the city of Birmingham. And as you see, they had the highest rate of deaths, murder, in 1992. And that was a record of 141 murders. And 100 homicides have been reported in the city of Birmingham, Alabama, as of December 2nd. And we are now approaching day 5. So, God willing, there will be no more shooting, deaths, stabbings, or mischief that results in death before the year is out. And I bring you this message because of said things I've talked about on this channel recently, of assaults and threats made to said persons. As I said, people need to find a better way of solving their problems, resolving their issues. I know that people are cruel. People can be cruel. People will do things to you, but you have got to get self-control, because let's be truthful. If everyone on earth went out and shot someone that made them angry, said something out of the way, or they thought that they did something, we would have no one on earth. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We would have no one. There would be no one here. And then that means we'd have babies and children running around without said parents, adults, to rear them, because their mommy and daddy decided, or guardian decided, to take the law into their own hands and murder said persons. So you see, the world is sick out here. It's sad. And I brought you all this information because I've talked about Birmingham in the past month. Well, 2 months, coming up 2 months. And I thought, why not tell the world in Birmingham and the state of Alabama what's going on in that city, how many deaths have been reported, murders. And as you see, Birmingham is sitting at 100 deaths as of December 2nd. And we are just approaching, this is early wee hour morning of the 7th of December. People have got to find a better way to resolve their problems, especially you young people, because murdering people, shooting people, stabbing people, beating up people is not the answer. You see, you cannot solve your problems by harming people. And I brought you all this information because I've talked so much just about the state of Alabama in general, with deaths in general, children's death, and one 19-year-old death. And the FBI has been in that state at least 3 times pertaining to missing persons, all found deceased, all African American, all female, all unrelated as of that we know of. And I think it's tragic and it's sad in this country, state, southern state, to have the FBI investigating 3 missing females in that state. You understand what I'm saying? It's sad. And then you have this city here on fire with all these people killing each other and running amok, running around, exacting crimes for whatever reason. It is sad. And that is my update for the city of Birmingham. And I pray that you all stay safe out there. Be mindful of your children. Be mindful of others' children. If you see something, say something. Be aware. Be alert. I'm praying for all of you this holiday season because, as I stated, we have some very sick people out here. People will be lurking around to find ways to hurt and harm you. So everyone, whether you're a man or a woman, needs to be mindful of your surroundings and take the necessary precautions to keep yourself, your family, and your friends safe. Happy holidays, YouTube, and I will be back with another update. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.